things trying to cleanse yourself.
Right.
You're not doing things as if you're trying to clean yourself up so you can look good. You're doing things born from abundance in life, not lack, and trying to become. So you're still doing things, but there's a whole nother level of strength and freedom that comes when you're not doing it to clean yourself up.
Right.
You're not doing it to look good. You're not doing it for any of that. You're doing it just from a passion. There's a different kind of a boldness. There's a different kind of there's a different kind of a passion. There's a thing that can't really be stopped, even should the world try to stop it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
You know, I look like Mr. Clean. And so when we can see that, when I could see that I'm not Mr. Clean and I wasn't trying to clean myself up by what I did, that I had already been made clean. It changed the foundation from where I did anything.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean I didn't do anything. It means that just the foundation from which I did things changed. We need to say that. I need to say that a lot for the benefit of people to hear, because so many times we can hear the rest thing and then we interpret that a carnal way instead of a spiritual way.
Yeah.
And then people, you'll be just as frustrated doing nothing as you will be doing something to try to be clean. It's an equal frustration. It's not a better frustration. It's an equal frustration. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You'll feel frustrated because, listen, there's a passion in your heart. There's something that excites you. There's something you're about. And so if you're just sitting around doing nothing in the cold, dark house, listen, man, you're going to become frustrated.
Yeah. Right. I think you might even take it a step back further. Because when we first started coming to church, the thing I think that struck me and really persuaded my heart more than anything was the understanding that our belief system drives our actions. And so if I'm operating out of a lie, out of the wrong belief system, then my actions are going to be all for the wrong reason. But if I'm operating out of the right belief system, then it has a whole different impact. And that once I came to grips with that, it was like, everything kind of, the dominoes kind of lined up, right?
It reminds me of when you and I took that class on evangelism many, many years ago. We sat in the classroom and we learned about evangelism, and then we went 2 by 2, door to door. I'm telling you, I was scared to death. It was a terrible experience, but this is what we're commanded to do, right? So we did it, and we hated it. And it's like, I'm never going to do that again.
And nobody was saved.
And then I learned that who I was good. And my heart was completely transformed. And now you can't shut me up. I'm evangelizing every chance I get, not because I was told I should, not because of a commandment, but because of the passion in my heart. It's a perfect example of what you're referring to.
And of Paul, when he said, Paul didn't say, well, I see that God has commanded me to go ye. Paul said, I've been arrested. That means taken captive, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason why he uses that language. I've been arrested by the love of God for all people. And so see, when you heard that God has called you good, not good by your works, right? Separate from our works. We tend to confuse that. So it's not that God come and said, well, your works are good and that's why you're good. No, he come and says, man, you're beautiful in my sight. Your works have nothing to do with your beauty. When you can hear that you were good, you became arrested by the love of God for you and for all people. I still remember when we got off the plane in Tulsa. And Cindy's all ministering the gospel to some woman on the plane and even off the plane. She's all... And you see, there was a joy there. Yep. There was a life there. People can tell if you're ministering the gospel by commandment or because you've been arrested by love. People can tell, man. Exactly. They can tell.
Yeah.
It's not called, this isn't in the Bible, but the unforced rhythms of grace. For so long now, we've been trying to force the rhythms of grace.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We've been trying to force it. And God is able to raise up people that are arrested by the love of God to take the gospel into the earth. He's able to do it. Evangelism is a grace gift.
Yes.
It's a charis gift. Do you know what that means? You can't teach it. It's born in people. It's born in them. Right? And so God is able to do that. Look what happened to Cindy.
Yeah.
You go from that one to tell anybody anything to you can't be quiet now. You're telling everybody. You're going to find kids everywhere to tell them. You see kids suffering and you want to go tell them. You want to tell them, you're telling everybody. That's the spirit of evangelism. That's how it's actually born.
Yeah. Right.
It's good stuff.